And we're back, Book, Stage and Screen, with Samantha and Gordon, here with a very special guest, Jennifer.
Hi. From
going,
Wit Epic Opening. Hi. It's a hot afternoon, isn't it?
It's a good intro. So you're from Wit Incorporated, so basically everything is commercialised now, including Wit. You didn't mess around.
Well, we sort of, we looked at the world, we thought, look, nobody's packaging this, nobody's mass producing it, selling it on supermarket shelves, so let's just incorporate that and own it. No.
Yes. It's ours now.
Yeah. This isn't about the art, it's about the profit.
Don't hear that very often.
No, good, but honesty is good.
Yeah.
No, we started out as West Independent Theatre 3 years ago.
Gotcha.
And it came time to incorporate because one must do this sort of thing so that one can, be a legally operating entity.
If you're sued, you're not going to lose your house, basically.
We'll go broke. I won't go broke. That's the main thing. Again, not the art. Money.
Money.
God, clearly not. And so we were toying around with what to call ourselves, whether to stay West Independent Theatre, whether to rebrand. And after a whole lot of discussion, as per, I imagine, your last guest with the naming of the festival, we decided that what we really want to be is people who bring together wit and thought and joy and laughter and stories. And so it seemed like the right thing to do.
It does fit nicely because you're Shakespeare based and the word wit is associated with Shakespeare.
We have just finished a season of Shakespeare, but it was our first ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Our main remit is to make sustainable, accessible theatre. So we don't want to make theatre that makes people think they should go. We don't want to be in competition with a philosophy lecture. Going to the theatre, I think, should be as much fun as going to the pub with your friends or going to the movies or sitting around with somebody you love and have known for 20 years just talking about the world. Because that's what it is. It's storytelling and it's human connection and it's connectedness, and that's why we make it. That's why I go to it as an audience member. So
that's
that
great.
was kind of our bag.
Beautiful. So tell us what you've had on this year. We've mentioned Macbeth, so you've got your teeth into that one. Beautiful.
That was far and away the most epic production we have ever mounted. But was really well received. Got some good feedback from critics and from audiences, most importantly. So this year we had 3 main stage seasons. We kicked off with a show called Couch Potato, which is a new Australian work. We're big on finding scripts and workshopping them and finding a way to get them out to people. That was a really sweet story about a guy who kind of lives in a holding pattern, still lives in the house he grew up in. Both of the parents have passed away and his sister has moved out. I played the sister. And he comes home one day and everything's moved around in the house and the jars aren't quite where they go in the kitchen. So he brings me, the sister, and, it's your house too, but please don't move things. While they're on the phone, he walks into the lounge room and there is a stranger asleep on his sofa. And she's there through the whole play. She never wakes up. She does things. She goes shopping, rearranges the furniture, redecorates the house, but not while anyone's there. And it's just Robert and Lisa, the brother and sister, and his best mate Laurie kind of navigating themselves and each other and this woman asleep on the couch.
That's really,
so it's really sweet and funny and potato. And then we, as part of Comedy Festival, had Fairy Tale News. Which was super fun. It's a kids comedy set in a newsroom. The Fairy Tale Nightly News Network. News by Fairy Tales for Fairy Tales. The big breaking story of the day was the missing basket of goodies. Red Cap lost on her way to Grandma's house. Police were searching Fairy Tale Woods, and so that was just a really beautiful opportunity to get kids and parents laughing together.
Yeah.
Kids get theatre, don't they?
Oh,
they
do
just
they
get
ever?
Yeah.
Kids don't think twice about laughing when something's funny or gasping when it's shocking.
And
Yeah.
participating vocally. Yeah.
And when you're on stage, having people respond without thinking to what you're doing is it's so exciting, and it just creates that atmosphere that only theatre gives you, because you get to feed off it and play with it. Yeah.
That's great.
Then we had a play reading, our first play reading of the year, of A Scandal in the Weimar, which is a mid-century retelling of a Sherlock Holmes story.
Okay.
With Lady Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Jean Watson
Right.
travelling to Berlin in 1939 to front up against the Mitford sisters and the Nazis, and it's a terribly adventurous buddy story.
Yeah.
So Holmes versus Hitler, was it? Was that the...
Well, yeah, something like that. And that's a great fun story to play with, because we're taking really well-known, canonical characters, and just tweaking them a little bit. So their characters remained entirely the same, but they became women. And what does that do? What do we expect of women? What do you do with an anti-hero like Sherlock Holmes, who really is quite a horrible person, when suddenly she's a woman and we're not quite so comfortable with female anti-heroes? So that one was a lot of fun. Then Macbeth.
Yeah.
Who were you in Macbeth?
I was Banquo.
Okay.
Yeah. We are pretty sure, we haven't had anybody tell us otherwise.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure that it was the first ever gender flipped Macbeth. So our witches were fellas,
Yeah.
and Scotland was run by queens.
As it should be.
Yeah. So that was another great thing to play with. I mean, for me personally, getting to die on stage like a hero is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, to have that moment where you sacrifice yourself to save your daughter and to save your family line, and it's heroic and it's brave, is something that you don't often get to do if you're an actor who happens to be a woman.
I think flipping gender's good. It just changes. You know, it's
Makes
not
it
a
fresh again.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a whole different.
It's a nice little twist, and it works well with cosplay. If you're into you know cosplay, seeing a female Joker, for example, or female Batman or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I think it works well.
Or a male Harley Quinn.
Yeah, exactly. It does
Our
work.
male witches were pretty saucy. they were definitely.
And were they comfortable
saucy
with
and
that, or
overbold.
did they take a while to get?
Yeah, they got into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be hamming it up. Don't worry about that.
No,
actors here.
So, yeah.
Actors.
No, all totally sincere. But it is really interesting going from the real world,
Yeah.
where we have a very clear power structure based on lots of things, but the one that we were exploring was gender, and then coming into the theatre and flipping it and learning to not wait for an opinion, learning to walk into a room expecting that everybody will listen to you. It's a whole lot of conditioning that's really interesting to
find
undo.
Once you walked out,
It
you
seeped.
still have that? Yeah.
Oh, it seeped.
Well, that's good. That's not a bad thing. And so that's this year. That's
and we've got our final play reading of the year
yes,
coming up on Friday the 25th of November,
right.
which is called The Doll Hospital.
Okay.
It's a fictionalised account of, I guess it's the origin story of a pretty grisly serial killer in London in the late 40s.
Okay.
Yeah. It's by a writer called Nathaniel Moncrief.
Right.
He has a beautiful sense of storytelling and a great way with words.
Yeah.
And he's taken this really bizarre situation. I'm not going to tell you who the killer is.
Yeah.
Because that would ruin it.
Yes. Yes.
It's very important in crime stories that you don't know till the end.
We've heard.
I was listening. And so it's Nathaniel's really great at Gothic storytelling, where everything seems fine, but it's just a little bit uneasy, and you're not quite sure that electricity in the air before a thunderstorm, that feeling through a story.
Yes.
And he's very kindly entrusted us with workshopping this story and putting on a play reading. And I should say it is on as part of City of Maribyrnong's Open Studios in the West.
Oh, beautiful.
Which is a great program.
Yep.
A whole lot of awesome visual arts studios and different craft and makers labs that people can get along to. And then come and have a beer and listen to a play.
Perfect day, people. And that's next Friday?
Yes, it is. I have no idea what the date is today, so I couldn't tell you that.
Next Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you look up on WIT's Facebook page, or I'd say Hobson's Bay, it'll
City of Maribyrnong.
City of Maribyrnong. Where am I? City of Maribyrnong. They'll be able to tell you where
absolutely
all these things are happening.
So you're a theatre group. What if there's actors listening who are like, I want to be part of a theatre group? How would they? How would they compete against you and put you out of business? That's no. How do they join? How do they join?
We are all about the collab. Love a collaboration. This year we have a regular Sunday artists meet at Bluestone Church Art Space. Where we've been artists in residence. So any professional actors or theatre makers, writers can come along, bring what they're working on, and share it with colleagues. It's a really beautiful way to hone your skill, because everybody has different training and everybody has different approaches to things. If you've got a new script, it's really difficult to know what it's going to be like if you don't hear it aloud. So it's a good way to get access to actors. And we go along, we have some warm-ups, have a bit of community. Being an actor is a pretty lonely job. Because you are always working as a sole trader, really. No matter how many ensembles you're part of.
Writers, directors, you're all... When you actually find a group, you're like, this is exciting. People. Talk.
So that's probably the best immediate way to get in touch. When we do, if we ever, we don't always hold public auditions, but when we do, we tend to share it with our artist list on our mailing group, so people can email us and ask to be put on that.
It's always a good idea to come down and get a feel of the company anyway, and the people you'd be working with. So it's a good idea.
And particularly in independent theatre, because none of us make a lot of money.
What?
I know, right? Did not get driven here in my Bentley. I had to drive myself.
The Uber's not outside just clocking up. No.
And it's really important, I think, to work with people who are great to work with, who are fun to be around, as well as being super talented, of course.
Yes, goes without saying.
Take the job seriously, not yourself. Yes. So, the more we know somebody, the more likely we are to give them a ring and say, hey, we're putting this show on. Do you want to come and read for this part?
Because you may know someone, and, when you're sitting around discussing the role, you're like, who's perfect for this?
Exactly.
And then everyone says the same name. Yes.
And also when we're working with writers, or when wits are writing, because we're all a mishmash of different disciplines. So we're actors and writers and producers, designers, directors. So often when we're writing something, we'll create it for somebody we know, because we think this character's really exciting, this person would be great at it. And then that informs the way you write that particular character. So, come and get to know us.
Yeah, there you go, people.
Come and get to know us.
Join us. No, we're not creepy at all.
Resistance is futile.
We are Borg. You will be assimilated.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, cool.
Lovely. Sam has no idea what that means. But
Something about a microchip's probably going to be inserted into the back of my neck. I've been given a hug or something. Well, that sounds fantastic, especially here in the West. It's always good to know that there's other people that are creating and welcome to new people.
Yeah.
And
it's actually the whole reason we exist. Belinda Campbell, our artistic director, and I both moved west a few years ago and couldn't find any professional theatre company making theatre in the West specifically for the West.
yeah.
So there are, theatre makers based here who sometimes produce shows in the West, sometimes do them in the city, some on the other side of town, what have you.
Yeah.
And we loved the community we found ourselves in, and we thought, well, let's do this thing.
Yeah.
And it's been really great. We've had a super positive response from council, from the local community, of people who are excited to be able to come and see professional theatre in the neighbourhood.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, why wouldn't you want to go and see it?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
well, the whole West is different now. Like just setting and things. It's more Fitzroy-ish now with its coffee shops and things. There's a lot more to choose from in terms of food, and I think that what goes along with that is a bit of culture, and it just spreads
Seeps into everything.
Yeah.
There's a reason dinner and a show is a thing.
Yes.
A very good reason.
And Footscray's getting some good little cafes now. I mean, normally you'd be hard to find something open down there, but in the last couple of years. So, yes, now we're talking about eating and going to the theatre. Oh, my God.
and a nice coffee.
Yeah.
Two of
and a
my
nice
favourite things in the world. I love you guys. I'm never
stitching it up here. Now, so we should say we were talking and joking about it's much better.
It's okay. You can go to both. They're on different days.
It's beautiful.
Go to all the launches.
My conscience is clear then. So you're going to be having your season launch.
Yes, on Friday the 2nd of December.
Beauts.
Because never let it be said we don't work hard. We just decided to do things a week apart. It's totally fine. So our 2017 season launch is on Friday the 2nd of December at Bluestone Church Art Space, of course, because it is our home this year.
Right.
And we've got a really exciting program of shows to announce. We've got a couple of cool new things we're doing. We've got some new partnerships to talk about.
Fantastic.
And we've got some tasty grog to drink and food to eat.
Ooh,
What? Let me just write that down. December 2nd.
So I shan't tell you what we're announcing.
No.
I'll come back and tell you that once we've announced it.
Yes. Beautiful.
So this is the announcement that there will be an announcement.
Yes.
That is.
Yes. Please be advised that we will advise of the thing that you need to be advised of.
But there is grog and food, apparently.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
all
a
you need to
party.
know. Yes. So if you follow Wit Incorporated, I love at We Are Wit. So on Facebook, you'll be kept in, I think that's an event already, isn't it? The play reading and then your season launch.
Yeah.
So it'll tell you when it's coming up. So
We have a couple of invitations to that season launch available as well to members of the general public.
Oh, okay.
So they can just email us. Am I allowed to say our email address?
Yeah, of course.
Great. Just check it out loud. That's super smooth, isn't it? It's nice. It's hello@witinc.com.au with their name and address, and let us know that they'd like to come to the party, and we'll email them back and say yes, probably.
And
Unless we run out, then we'll say no.
And you'll see your favourite radio announcers there, probably eating and drinking, told to step away from the food and
Listen
drink.
to how much fun this would be. Imagine if we had beers. It would be great.
So it's hello@witinc.com.au.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That mind, it's just like a trap.
Wasted here,
Stuff
isn't
goes
it?
in and it's
Yes.
just absorbed.
Yeah.
Sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on today and telling us all about it. It sounds like you've been incredibly busy. I look forward to the Dole Hospital play reading. That's next Friday, It's saying 10 p.m, but that can't possibly be right.
That is absolutely not right. It's
so late reading.
Doors open at 7 for a 7:30 play reading.
Right.
Tickets to that are free,
Okay.
but bookings are a good idea. And again, via our website.
Beautiful.
But do not turn up at 10 o'clock is the takeaway.
We'll be going home.
The beer will have been drunk by then. Don't worry, people.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for coming in. We'll
Thanks
have
for
you
having
back
me.
to tell us all about next year's program
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
and the things we can't talk about now. We'll be talking about in the future.
All of the classified information will be declassified.
We'll take the cone of
Who
silence
the aliens
off.
are, etc., etc.
Yes, sounds great.